The hit series The Walking Dead tells the story of Sheriff Deputy Rick Grimes waking up from a coma to learn the world is in ruins and must lead a group of survivors to stay alive. The series has a rating of 8.1 out of 10 from over 900,000 votes. So today we're revealing behind the scenes secrets of The Walking Dead and what really happened. You do not want to miss this. First up, we'll look at hordes of real-life zombies and real-life SWAT teams. The Walking Dead has successfully aired since 2010, and some observers feel that part of the reason for the show's success is that the show's creators chose to use real people and superb old-school hair and makeup techniques as opposed to computer-generated imagery, CGI. In addition to making the show much better and more realistic, this choice also created hundreds of jobs for extras who play the walkers and the hair and makeup artists responsible for turning the extras into the ghoulish creatures that we see on screen. Each season, the show employs some 200 extras to play the zombies, with as many as 80 being on set at the same time. Another behind-the-scenes secret that many fans probably didn't know is that a real police SWAT team was called to the set during the first season after residents reported seeing a man on top of a roof with a rifle. Of course, in reality, it was only a veteran actor, Michael Rooker, in the midst of shooting a scene. Also, actor Lauren Cohen, who plays the character Maggie Rhee, was pulled over once by police because she was heading home after a day of shooting covered in fake blood. An officer pulled Lauren over of concern for her well-being. Next up, we'll discuss life in Sonoy, Georgia, where the series is shot. One of the drawbacks to having one of the biggest TV shows shooting in your hometown is the inconvenience of having to deal with added traffic and people coming through your town to go to work. Understandably, this can be frustrating at times, so the producers of The Walking Dead decided to give each household in Sonoy $400 per month in compensation. There have also been a boost to Sonoy's local economy. Before the series began, there were only 5 shops in the tiny town, and now many more have opened up. A small tourism industry has even blossomed in the town, which gives tourists and fans of the show an opportunity to visit many of the sites where the series filmed. The town of Sonoya is growing thanks to the show and is continuing to prosper. Residents continue to receive their inconvenience payments year after year, and have also agreed to keep quiet should they notice anything new about the show's plot and story. Up next, we'll take a look at some of the drama that has unfolded behind the scenes. The show's creator, Frank Darabont, a screenwriter by trade, is responsible for writing some of the greatest screenplays in film history. Films such as The Green Mile, 1999, The Mist, 2007, and perhaps most famously, The Shawshank Redemption, 1994, a screenplay that some say was the greatest ever written. Therefore, it may come as a surprise to some fans to learn that Frank Darabont was fired from the production team and replaced by Glenn Mazzara, who was actually Darabont's subordinate. Recently, Darabont and the agency that represents him, CAA, reached a $200 million settlement deal after a lengthy lawsuit regarding profit participation. According to Darabont, he was fired by executives so that he could avoid having to give him a pay raise that he was contractually entitled to. After he was hired to replace Darabont, Mazzara only stayed on for 2 seasons. According to Mazzara, the show's executives were far too overbearing, and despite being the showrunner, had little to no control over the show's creative elements and plot. Next up, we'll discuss a behind-the-scenes tragedy that happened during Season 8. As you could probably imagine, a show such as The Walking Dead must employ a number of professional stuntmen and stuntwomen. Thousands of film and television shows around the world employ these brave stunt people, and the importance of their role in the production process cannot be overstated. The majority of the time, stunt work doesn't end in tragedy or injury. However, tragedy did strike The Walking Dead stunt team during Season 8 of this hit series. Stuntman John Bernecker, who has worked on such films as Black Panther, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and The Fifth Wave, died after taking a bad fall on the set of The Walking Dead. Sadly, John Bernecker was only 33 years old. Bernecker's family filed a wrongful death suit against the AMC network, and the case went to trial. Months later, a jury found that AMC wasn't at fault, but nonetheless awarded Bernecker's estate more than $8 million in compensation. Up next, we'll take a look at the time an actor on The Walking Dead asked to have his character killed off. It's very uncommon for an actor on a hit TV show to ask that their character be killed off. Most actors are so excited to be on a hit show, and on a more basic level, most are happy to have a steady paycheck. However, veteran actor Jeffrey DeMunn, who played the character Dale Horvath, is one such exception. DeMunn, who worked on seasons 1 and 2, was apparently so incensed and disgusted with firing of Frank Darabont in 2011 that he decided to leave the series and in a show of solidarity with Darabont. After all, Damon and Darabont had worked together in the past on such films as The Mist, The Green Mile, and The Shawshank Redemption. So it's safe to say that Damon and Darabont are friends and that Damon's departure was a show of solidarity with Darabont. Damon released a statement about his character to the press and said, "Dale's death was my decision. I was furious about how Frank was pushed out of the show. I spent a week not being able to take a full breath, and then I realized, oh, I can quit. So I called them and said, it's a zombie show. Kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. It was an immense relief to me." Next up, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like for the cast members on the set of The Walking Dead. Typically, actors and crew will eat together on a film or TV set, but on the set of The Walking Dead, that doesn't happen. According to insiders, for the sake of authenticity, the actors playing the zombies are kept separate from the actors who play the living. It's as if the show's producers want to prevent the actors playing the zombies and the actors playing the living from getting too chummy. So when it's time for lunch, for instance, the actors eat in separate areas. Also, some of the extras playing the zombies have remarked that there's a glaring difference between what the zombie extras get to eat and what the actors playing the living characters get to eat. Apparently, the food the actors playing the living characters get is better than the food the zombie extras get. Up next, we'll talk dollars and cents and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how much it costs to create this hit series. During the show's first season, some episodes cost more than $3 million to make. As you might expect, a good portion of the budget goes to the makeup and visual effects team, but the bulk of the budget actually goes to the actors' salaries. In fact, a total of 40% of the series budget goes to actor salaries. The cast of The Walking Dead is huge, and so there's a lot of paychecks going out to them. And as you'll see, some of those paychecks are pretty substantial. If you're a fan of the show, then you're familiar with the character Rick Grimes. Grimes is played by actor Andrew Lincoln. During the early seasons, Lincoln collected a salary of $92,000 per episode. Not bad, right? But in later seasons and at the present time, Lincoln is raking in $550,000 per episode. Actor Norman Reedus, who you might remember from such films as The Boondock Saints, initially collected between $80,000 and $120,000 per episode. But in later seasons and today, Reedus pulls in a cool $650,000 per episode. Today, the average cost to produce the show stands at approximately $2 million per episode. Finally, we'll discuss how Norman Reedus made it onto the show. Many fans may be unaware of this, but The Walking Dead is actually a graphic novel and comic book series that was created by a man named Robert Kirkman. And the thing is, Kirkman never created a character named Daryl Dixon. The show's producers created the character specifically for Reedus because they wanted him to be a part of the show that bad. Reedus has opened up publicly about being nervous to join the show as he was cast late and felt that his presence would breed some animosity and maybe even a little jealousy among some of the cast members due to his high salary. When asked about his first day on set, Reedus had this to say: "There's 15 people looking at me like, what are you gonna do?" And judging me, and I immediately got a little chip on my shoulder. I felt like, oh God, they hate me. And I started talking out the side of my eyes. I was talking and I didn't really connect like, you hate me, I hate you too. And that's how I found that character. Thank you for listening and watching. Please click like and subscribe to our channel. More exciting and informative videos are on the way.